Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I want to show you lately I've been having a lot of dreams. And within these dreams, it's showing me how we're going to have to soon, whether you want to believe me or not, soon, we're going to start having to divide ourselves from the masses. You think you are okay because you are an African descendant, quote unquote, black person, indigenous person in America. You make great income. You have a house and a car. You think you are free. You think that when you go around amongst white people, other race. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I talk to white people. I have two white ladies I can call friends. I met a white guy in my life in the military I can call a friend. Can you call your white, Middle Eastern, Asian, European neighbor a friend? If you cannot call them, if you right now needed help, if the world right now said we're going to start killing black people, what we call quote unquote in American, African Americans, would you be safe amongst your white, Asian, and Middle Eastern people? The answer is no. History has shown us that. And just take a minute. I'm going to go over this male that's an immigrant in America. He's talking about brainwashing. This is part 2 to the CRT review. Thank you for joining. Coming to you with I'm not going to call this indigenous, quote unquote, black only news. This is a review of the critical race theory. I'm still trying to figure out. I don't figure it out. I already know why people don't want something that actually entails for me to touch your heart. I will stand in front of everybody that want to disagree with a critical race theory and say, why you want to, don't get mad at what, it's a subject. They had no problem. These people, even this dude, had no problem if you talk about it. He would not fight. He would not say nothing. Had no problem when they taught slavery in school. But now we're going to teach because it's teaching because you're not educating. You're going to teach. Now, what critical race theory you're going to do is going to educate the children on the difference of how you look at me. You can hear by his mouth, he don't understand nothing. So let's get into what I mean.
Earlier this week, our next guest delivered a powerful message to the school board.
I grew up in Iran as a Christian. And when we went to school, as much as the government wanted to indoctrinate us, the teachers didn't allow it. Now in the 21st century, we have social justice warrior so-called teachers are trying to shove their garbage ideology down our kids' throat. These are our children, not yours. Their job is not to raise my child or my neighbor's child. Their job is to teach our kids math, science, biology, literature, and that's it, not ideology.
Loudoun County parent Demis Christophe joins us now. Demis, thank you for joining us. You're a brave man. I think a lot of people in America, a lot of parents out there.
So what did you hear this man say? He said their job is to teach our children, not ideology, not the information that we learn. But it was okay when that was going on. This is hashtag critical race theory. Their job was not to teach our children. They was job to what? Math, science, English. See how he purposely he talking about woke agenda. He's an agent. He did not say history or social studies. If he did, I missed it. And correct me if he said social study and history. Their job was not to teach our children. So he said math, science, English. Wow, isn't that ironic? All of a sudden, those things are the greatest importance that we told the world is important, and we showed the world. I'm about to get to it. There you go.
Are very inspired by you, and I guess I look at this. You're an immigrant to this country. I presume you want your children to have the American dream, and that means, as you said, you want to. How frustrated are you that that's not what the school is focusing on?
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show.
So he did not say history and social studies. Haha. See.
I love this country. My parents took the greatest risk to come here so we could have a better life. And I want my kids to have a better life than I did. And when I hear this kind of stuff, it pisses me off because the kids nowadays are distracted with so many different things other than their schoolwork. Yeah. And now they're bringing all this stuff, this ideology stuff into the school.
His kids are distracted with so much stuff other than schoolwork. They're bringing ideology to their children. So hashtag critical race theory, they're bringing ideology to their children.
And just a reminder, I don't hate the LGBT community. I love them. They are part of the society. And the problem lies here is that these distractions from the school curriculum screws with everybody. All children, including the LGBT, including the minorities, including the blacks, the Hispanics. This has nothing to do with hatred. This is part of.
He said this distract the LGBT. So he narrowed it down, but listen what he's going to say later to the LGBT community. He narrowed it down. So that means, do he know what critical race theory is? I put money on it. He has no idea what is critical race theory. And he said, this distract us. No, it ain't. No, it's not. It's going to have him look in the mirror at himself. But that's going to come a little later.
Systemic ideology that they want to pass on. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I have a clue, but.
So what do you think it is?
That's the issue.
So what do you think it is?
When I was growing up in Iran, the system in the school system, they made sure everybody was educated. Then they had a separate agenda for indoctrinating children. Here, they are making our kids dumber. When I came in here in 1993 as a 14-year-old, my math level was at a high school level. When I sat on the 8th grade, I was at a senior level math capability when I sat as an immigrant who didn't speak a word of English. what they're doing is they're dumbing down the children. They're not making them smarter. They're just distracting them with all these dumb ideology stuff. They just want to push their agenda. I have no idea what their end result is going to be, but this has to stop. We are creating.
He said they're dumbing down the children and they're pushing their ideology, hashtag critical race theory. So critical race theory to make their child think about how they're going to treat another race. They don't want it. Because you want to know why?
Dumb children versus small children. This is why a lot of people are complaining about immigrants who come here and succeed, and people who have been here for 2 or 3 generations, they're not succeeding in life.
Yeah.
And that narrows it down. Reason I showed that, because as soon as he said that, he said people that have been here 2 or 3, 4 generations. I'm going to say 4. And they're not, quote unquote, succeeding in life. I would want to ask this man, why is that happening? I'm pretty much going to know why is that happening. I know what he's going to say. But this is my talk today. It's not going to be that long because I just wanted to give you an example of a review of critical race theory. And within critical race theory, to me, from understanding, is having our children, not the adults, look at me fairly. Look at the children fairly. You want to know the biggest problem in America today? It's not that the kids are dumb. I don't know why his kids would be dumb. So you mad when you go to a school that your children are going to be around other children. They're going to treat them different. And without starting a problem, we tell our children to be orderly, docile to other race, to comply. They don't tell their children to do that. You think their children to say, respect your teachers? Why do you think you see, I live in a cultural area. I don't call it diversity. But it has the quote unquote diversity, which is we are becoming a diversity type of country. We're so divided, we're segregated. We are so segregated that the parents don't want their children to actually think about how they're treating people. That's my whole thing with that premise of what that dude just said. He said they're dumbing their children down for them actually having to think about how you treating me, how you treating other people. But they don't want that. That's why I'm here to say, now, we better stop thinking they're our friend. And I asked you that question. Do your European, Caucasian, Middle Eastern, Asian person, can you call them a friend? If you need them, would they help you? And the answer is no. I've discussed that with my other race people if I discussed it with them, they already know. Like I told the white lady, if it came a time and it's a group of Caucasian people walking down the street towards my group of people, I spelled submissive wrong. But that's probably how we should spell it anyway, the way we act towards them. You have a chance to choose a side because they probably will ask you, are you really with them? Or they wouldn't care because they see you. But you have an opportunity to make your bid at the end of the day. And what I want us to understand, at the end of the day, we are not friends with them. They are not our friend. I'm sorry. You can call me racist or anything you want to call me. Middle Eastern, as I showed you in the video, he's an Iranian, that's Middle Eastern. That so-called father, I'll show you him again. Could give him right here, can give 2 damns about how his son or daughter sees me. He sees me. He said, we've been here 2, 3 generations, hashtag critical race theory, and he don't understand how come but I don't know what his success in life is meaning. He said, them people are not successful. He don't see how people not successful. His family came here. Well, I want to tell you this. When I went to a seminar on getting a loan for a business, the lady, there's 2 loans that an immigrant get. They get more of a federal loan. I get the base loan. The base loan is the American loan where, and I'm going to do a video on this because people think I'm making this up. We have 2 separate type of loans we receive. And I asked her, like, how come I can't? And she's like, well, these loans that mainly the Africans get. I said, well, I'm African. She said, no, you're born into America. I said, I'm African American. Can I get that loan? She kind of looked at me and said, she ain't say it mean way. She said, well, you're not an immigrant. You were born in America. I said, yes, but still. She said, well, that loan is for the African immigrants or the immigrants that was probably Russian or Polish that also I read about. So I didn't get their loan. I said, why am I getting a separate loan from them? So the premise of what that man said, he said he don't see how people that's born in America are not, I guess, quote unquote, successful. And I'm here to say the Honorable Harriet Tubman, they got this dude named Dan Calloway saying she wasn't real. I would love to talk to him, but I know she's real. You know what Harriet Tubman did when her husband was about to go out and snitch rat? We call this one young man a snitch because he told the truth about the industry and the gang mentality. We called him a snitch. He's an honorable young man. I don't care. And then when we do that, we had to bring up his past about, so a young man that was 19 was talking to a 16. So when we do 3 years difference, so we got to remember there's a 3-year difference. If I'm 24 and she's 21, remember there's a 3-year difference, but we don't do that on everything. What I'm saying is we're going to have collateral damage. Black women and black men, I call them black for a reason. That swirl have to be our collateral damage. People that don't align with building of our race, because that gentleman even said, oh, you think I'm spitting a fool. All right, I'm going to spit a fool with you. I'm going to show you the comment section. If the comments come up, they don't take forever to come up. I'm going to spit a fool with you. But the reason I'm saying this is because we made our choice, right? And me making my choice saying I'm for my mother, father, brother, and sister, and my cousins. Those are people that look as me, the same skin, right? The Iranian dude, those Caucasian people, so Middle Eastern people, Asian people, you think they don't practice colonialism and imperialism? They own a whole nother space-time when they're speaking about us. But we are the only ones, and I wrote this because I wanted to ask. So I have one question, America. Racism is no longer a problem in America. What is critical race theory? And to be honest, you're telling me racism don't exist? No problem. We have slavery and we've been here for 2 or 3 generations and having a hard time. But people here is doing better that just got here. Why is that, sir, and people? And I look at the comments to show how these are not all fake people. People really thinking his ideal is, can't imagine disagree with this man. He's right about hate. Our children education is critical. He's right about hate. He's right about, I'm not even go through the other comments because maybe that's going to take a long time to load. It's going to take a long time to load. I'm not going to worry about it. Let's go. Here goes some more comments. He's not disrespectful to any community. He's just telling the truth. As a Christian, I should know the end result intentions are. This guy needs to run for office. We need him. And then the reason I say this, you have to really think about people that's commenting. All these thousands of people are not fake people. All these thousands of people are not agenda-stricken people. They're not part of agenda. They are actually regular people that you sit near every single day. They choose safety. These people are choosing safety over freeness. They're going to cost you a whole chance to survive. The cost of safety is the will to survive. So I'll have an example. If I give you a choice, which as our example is going to be the pill. One of these pills is going to keep you safe. You're not going to have to fear about nothing, follow the rules, stay into the indoctrination. As the gentleman, he said our quote unquote children are being indoctrinated. But he didn't mention that history and social study is being taught. See, they didn't bring that up. What is so important that I know it's important to a certain way, but shouldn't that be a separate curriculum? Grand Rising, brother. No, that shalom, brother. Sorry, I didn't see your message. No, when I didn't copy and save it, can you write it in the thing again? I sent you a message and see, I don't know if you're receiving my message. So write it in. I'm gonna copy and save it to my notes so I can have it. And that's my fault. And because for some reason, when I go back through I thought I was gonna able to go back through my video. It was gonna show my chat, but some reason it didn't show my chat. And I turned my chat on. My chat is on for my lives and for the replay. For some reason, it's not coming up. I have to check into that. So write it again. I'm gonna copy it and paste it and save it so I have it. That's my fault. So what we're gonna have to do is people that's deciding to say they'd rather be safe. And safe mean if you take a pill, this pill gonna say you're safe. Just follow the rules, stay in the system. That's safety. Freeness. Take this one or choose. Don't even take a pill. Choose an option best for you and your family. I'd rather choose freeness. I'd rather have my own mind. Now, if the rules present itself to help everyone, yes, I will join. But if the rule is not presenting itself to help me, why would I want to join that? Why would I want to remove a person or remove something that's supposed to help me as a whole? So basically what I'm saying, people that go out the race, that interracialize, intermingle, even family that decide, well, my money is more important than having a loving example with my family, a loving with my family, to be there for my family. Yes, okay. YouTube had deleted the message. How come I can't copy and paste that? All right, one moment, everyone. I have to let me do this real quick because I'm gonna make sure I get this from this brother. So sorry about that. One moment. So as I was saying, we're going to have to allow those people to fall. And that's the scary part. And allowing those people to fall, that's just going to be part of our freeness. We can no longer rely. And as I showed you, even in those comments, those people that think critical race theory is not so great, we're going to have to let them go and say, okay, you don't think this matters right now, that your child is going to go into a school system and they're going to tell your children about different views and different things. But soon as you decide to show these children, your child, something about caring about other people and showing respect, hashtag critical race theory. I got your email, brother. So now what we're going to do We're going to stop teaching our children that. A war is coming. You better tell your child about math, English, and science. Science better teach them the element. Guide them and educate them about the elements. How to create steel. What elements take to create war. See, we don't know that. We don't even have a thing. We don't even have the tools. You got all these rich African descendant, quote unquote, black people in America have money, but none of them invest in science. They're looking upon other people. Invest in science. Why is your children a rapper? Why is your child not a scientist? You made millions of dollars now. Was that not, or your end goal was just to fit into society as they want you to not use your brain? So you telling me your only skill was just to rap and play basketball and to dance? That was your child's only skill. They were so creative. Remember a guy, I talked about creativity. He tried to box me. One of them guys tried to box me in about creativity. We can no longer apologize. I'm sorry. My child was going to know how to use a weapon. You know the funny part? My child going to know how to do a lot of, go learn and be educated on a lot of things. But they still going to be a child. Just as my child's never going to have to act as an adult at 11 years old, taking care of his sister. He's going to know, or her sister or his sister, or her brother or his brother. He's going to still be a child. But they're also going to know the real world is not through the Disney or Pixar movies. There's no such thing as Santa. There's no such thing as an Easter bunny. There is no entity that you cannot see. There is no God. They fabricated a belief system. Now telling me you won't take a look into racism, #critical race theory. And you want me to say, okay. And then you got to remember, there are people of their skin color. That's safe. Let them be safe. I want to be free. See, we all have a system or indoctrination in us. I say even me. Because when it comes to my race women, I don't understand how you can hate me through only a few men that hurt you. But the men that help you don't give it. Their indoctrination, their systematic hurt is only going to be with their race men. Another race man can beat her to a bloody pulp. He can be showing her signs that he hate her. The one man said, I thought she was dead, and went on eating his food. The white man told that black, quote unquote, black woman and the news reporter about her, I thought she was dead, and he's still on eating. But that right there, he's not there to hurt her. She still will view him with other black females, white men. As they said, white men are better. And with that premise, I say, who birthed white men? First, I say, who birthed the black men you so hate? They say black women. So who birthed white men? White women. So if white men are better, don't that make white women better than black women? And you can't have a premise, but their minds, their mentality have to see that. So in collateral damage, and if you want to be free, you better stop thinking that the other race care about you. Stop telling your child to be caring, understanding, and orderly, and submissive and docile to other race. They're proving to us that they don't give a fuck about us. They're showing they don't care about us. And you say I'm coming from no, because at the same day, I'm going to go outside and interact with the same people. And it's not being fake. I'm just waiting for them to show me how much they hate me. Because I already know if an Iranian man don't want his child to understand how he's treating this black person different, quote unquote, indigenous man different in America from a country his father came from 2 generations ago, and how we going to treat him different, I'm no longer going to take time out. And here's a prime example. I live in a culture, I'm going to say #diversity, the area now, a diverse area. I'm up here playing basketball with these Middle Eastern children. Why is all the parents coming out the house to see what's going on? None of them walks up to me. But I can tell they said something hatred towards me. And this is what I want people to understand. I know they hate me. We know they hate us. But we still work with them. We still give them our money. We still give them our time, energy, and our women still battle for them. Let them people go. Let my people go. She's no longer my people. Let her be safe instead of free. Let him feel safe instead of free. Even my brother, I will tell him, you can go be with how many white women you want. But at the same time, just as those black females that don't like you, a lot of white women hate you. Just as those black females hate you, a lot of black females don't, quote unquote, like you. You have to look at that the same way. And they chose safety. If she telling me she's safe with a puny white dude, I can walk over, grab him by the neck, and choke him out. If she feels safer with that, she'll say, well, I feel safe that what? He can go to an area with no education, no experience, and get that job and bring home a certain amount of income, and that stability, she can have that. But if she's telling me a strong, see, to me, this is, I'm gonna have to say this. I said it to my woman last night. You weak black bitches. Yes, I'm gonna call Cynthia G a weak black bitch. Chrissy is a weak black bitch. Kristen Kirsten are weak black bitches. My mother told me don't never call them that. You bitch ass niggas that's scared to stand up for your sons in the police force, in the military, in the lawyer office, in that work. I'm not gonna allow somebody to say I never. When they was talking, I worked at a job. You know, every job I work at, they're scared of me because I'm not stupid. And I don't talk with, I'm not a conservative, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. I'm an African descendant indigenous man. I am Otha Williams Jr. See, they won't press me hand to hand, face to face, chest to chest, heel, toe to toe. See, that's how I fight. You either gonna fight me with your mind or put your hands up. But they're not gonna never do that. That's why they gotta create things. That's why you need the Iranian man to say what he says. That's why you need them. They need we built a country that he can come from another country and get a different type of loan. That's the country that's fair, right? They justifying the loan. So even if you have public, you know, when I applied for food stamps, you know how much money they wanted to give me? I'm making poverty line money. Even when I work, don't matter. Don't say that. As you think our race women that invest in hair is going to start when their race women open up a hair shop. You think they're going to stop going to those Asian shops, even though the Asians told us they don't want us there, for the most part. For the ones that's racist, even the one, when you find out that one, now it's a big deal. No, ask them. Go and ask the Asian parlor owner, how do you feel about critical race theory? How you feel about treating people? I do that. And that shows me. I can say hi to you, but my hi, I don't want to hello you. I'm going to say hi because I want you to be higher than, I want you to crescendo. I want you to rise. So even when I'm told you're too kind, you can be naive. No, you don't have to be naive. See, that's the problem. We have these theories on what things can and can and can't be, but we don't take the time out to actually figure it out. Why is it that a person think that way? Hashtag critical race theory. So at the end of the day, if you hear all the words I said and you don't go out and educate yourself, go ask those parlors, go ask those race. I want to ask those families, what was the problem? But they don't want, even walking toward, they go run in the house. Why is your child singing a different tune today than they were? They had no problem, but their family showed them how to be racist towards me. Hashtag critical, but they don't want critical race theory. Ha ha. And that's why critical race theory, the review. So this have been the root, and I mean every word I say. I don't use the word nigga and bitch, but we got some bitch ass niggas and we got some weak black bitches. Some weak black ass men out there that's bitches too. Sorry, and I don't talk that way. But I'm gonna tell you to the face. And I had to tell a brother I served in the military with. This brother's so lost in his mind. And you can tell, this is how you know. I would say I would want my daughter to be with a indigenous strong man. He said I wouldn't want my daughter to be with a black man that abuses her. And I asked him, why you just can't say you didn't want her to be with a quote unquote indigenous man that wasn't good for her? Why was your first word negative towards who you are? See, but nobody want credit. Even we need critical race theory. Why do we hate our own people? Why do we hate our skin? Don't say because we rob. Nobody I live out here have robbed and stole from anybody one time. So that black woman that has their dog every night don't say hi when I'm going to work at night. She runs a different direction. She can't use that I'm going to hurt her and I have yet to not hurt her. She have yet to not speak back when I say hi the first time. We need critical race theory. We hate each other because of what one did, but it's okay that we're watching us. Ooh, I want to start the channel where I want to do this almost every day and just give you, may not be 36 minutes long, but show you how the white man, it was a white dude. I almost start showing you these articles. They just erased the white dude for a hate crime. But white men is better than black men. Think about that. This is the second hate crime within the past 5 years towards our race. And do you know what a black conservative will say? Well, we do bad things too, so we should be. It sounds like some Uncle Tom. I call him a Toby. If you remember Roots, he kept beating on him. He said, "What's your name, boy?" He said, "Kunta." But he said, say Toby. His name was Toby. You got too many Tobys. You got too many mammies. They're collateral damage. Only time I would see after a while, we better get this. And I want you to understand this real quick, people. If you're in hiding if you're surviving, right, to get to a part where you can, I always say, people ask me, how are you doing? I'm thriving. I'm thriving right now to strive. Strive is to hit my stride that I'm thriving. I'm walking, right? You ever watch a race? They moving, they out the blocks. They head down, they thriving. Once they lift their head up, they striving. They stride, they catch and they stride. And if that person got a second kick, whether it's on 100 or 200 meter, that's the fastest man he's already has a gear that's already set up. Soon as he rises his head out of the block, out of the technique that he used to make him better, he's into his motion and everything from being down in that block, in front of that line, we all have, it's a technique. Because you know why that technique is important? Because that's how you get your boost. That's when your acceleration start coming. So it's important that your child, and then this is the one thing, they don't want to give your child critical race theory in school, take them out of school. Stop teaching them this crazy. Show them the history, but don't educate your child on history. Don't teach your child. Sorry, I had it backwards. Don't teach your child history. Educate them. Don't say, well, slavery was because. No, say slavery happened because. Don't say, well, this is slavery. No, it happened because. You learn why. I'm going to ask you as a people, why did slavery happen? And I'm guarantee you, I'm going to get majority of the same answers. Slavery did not happen because we were disobedience. Slavery happened because of an unknown. Everything happens because of unknown. So if you don't know, but then if you always telling your child how to act, to associate with everybody else is not doing that for your child. your child and stop saying, oh, when black people go to school, but we need critical race theory too. Our number one fault, the children pick on each other. Why are you picking on somebody's name? I look at the parents. That's the parents. Just as the critical race theory is not for the child, it's for the parent. But it's going to help the child. The child's going to go home. And you know the funny part, and I have heard this. The Middle Eastern son and the Caucasian or the European or Asian son said, Dad, why is that young African American man getting treated different? So what I say unto one, I say unto all. It's your path, it's your journey, it's your choice. Choose wisely. This is the review of the critical race theory. No rate, many race don't care about how we are doing as a race. Until we take a stand and we start allowing critical damage to happen. We need critical damage. If a person think just because they work at a bank, they work for a Fortune 500 company, they have a house, a car, if they think that's good, that's their safety. But if this same person, they don't stand up for nothing, they stand for nothing. They stand for nothing. You have to let them be. I'm sorry because I'm not sorry, but in a sense, I'm sorry because in my heart, I feel bad for them that they would never stand up and understand that what is happening, even with amongst ourselves, our diaspora. So if you think that America is so great and you think, okay, go by be it. But it's going to be a time now where we going to have to stand up and start building and creating our own and forming. But we're not doing that. I want to see, everybody keeps saying, OJ, I want to share so much with you. This is the sad part. I tried to do things with a lot of people of our race, but nobody want to do it. And I'm quick to say, as a man in America, indigenous man, I can't do none of this on my own. None. I cannot do none of this on my own. I need a brother to come and help me. I am looking for brothers to come and help me. And they'll say, you haven't started, so why should I help you? That's the whole point, brother. I need you. Sisters, we need each other. We having the most abortions with less babies being born. Think about that. We have the lowest amount of babies being born. And the first thing we'll talk about is we don't have enough money. Well, that's about a bunch of baloney because a child being born costs $10,000. Did you spend $10,000 on that child being born? No, the government pays for it. That's why you have a birth certificate. Yeah, but you don't know that. But I don't get into that. So until we, as in our homes, take the time out and pay attention to our children. Stop making them docile to this American system. Don't make them savages. Don't make them hoes. Don't make them niggas. I mean, stop telling and teaching our children that they can punch you and beat on you, and that's okay. They can do you wrong, and that's okay. But you're going to be the great little nigga boy or girl that you can be in America.